25 steps for playing Minecraft as Mojang intended. And even if you've already seen videos on this topic, stick around, because we dug deep into these guidebooks to find pieces of advice so crazy, we'd be the only ones stupid enough to try it. Starting with Mojang's advice on how to kill Elder Guardians. Apparently, the proper way to kill an Elder Guardian is that you would first use a fishing rod so that you pull them out of the water, and then you can kill them with your diamond sword. And sure, these Guardian mobs are a lot worse for wear when they're outside of water, but think about how many times you're gonna get blasted by their beam just trying to do this setup. I mean, for the Elder Guardians, you have to break them out of the monument to even try this. And with them providing the mining fatigue effect, that's gonna take some time. I'd rather just swig down a milk bucket and then take them on myself. After all, with 1.13 swimming, it's a lot easier to kill these things down in their main domain. What are the essentials when you need to go mining? Some might say torches, food, a pickaxe, obviously. But if you're Mojang, it's ladders. Yeah, no joke. Apparently you're supposed to bring a stack of ladders at all times, so that way you have a way to ascend to the surface quickly. And whoever wrote this clearly has a different definition of the word quickly, since the amount of time that it would take to make a perfect ladder right up to the surface winds up being significantly slower than just digging yourself a staircase out of there. And especially with the changes to the world generation since they wrote this, the world's a lot deeper, you're gonna need a lot more ladders to even try this out. Instead of finding shelter on your first day, Mojang would rather that you take all of the dirt around your spawn, build it up into a stack, so that you have a dirt pillar to mark your spawn coordinates. Which will be hard to miss, but there's one key flaw with this, which is that if you were to die and need to find back where you started, it's not gonna be hard. You spawn back at the world spawn, which would be right where you put the pillar anyway. All this does is add insult to injury. And for all that work, I'd rather spend that dirt to defend myself against the monsters at night. A dirt hut is a lot nicer for defense than just having a big pillar. Well, let's say you follow Mojang's advice and spend your first day building up this dirt pillar. Well, how would you spend your first night? According to Mojang, the solution is to spend it down in a cave. Since when you're down here, you won't need to spend time building a house. And if you need to, you could block off the walls and have a safe fort inside of the caves. Which I guess in some ways is true, but if you really think that the dark caves are gonna have less mobs than the dark floor above, you're sorely mistaken. 157 Minecraft facts you possibly didn't know. This year we've covered plenty of different Minecraft trivia and facts, so today we're joined by Blog Facts to go through some of our favorites and some new ones as well. And hey, according to YouTube, it's physically impossible to subscribe to the channel in less than a second. So if you're up to the challenge, let's put 1 second on the clock so you can prove them wrong. Ready? Go. And hey, even if you subscribed after a second, thank you. It all helps out a ton. Nowadays, we all know this guy is Steve. And while that's an iconic enough name to get him into Smash Bros, it turns out the player didn't always have that moniker. In fact, it wasn't until his first guest appearance in the indie game Super Meat Boy that he was finally called Steve. And by all accounts prior, he was just a nameless figure. If you've ever built a snow golem in Minecraft, you might have Amazon to thank for their inclusion. Let me explain. In this tweet back in September of 2011, Notch explained that because of problems with the Amazon Web Services, or AWS, he got frustrated enough to make the